Dear soul, if your eyes have fallen upon these words, trust that this moment was written for you long before you clicked play. As you listen, allow every syllable to wash over you like cleansing rain. If these sentences echo your own hidden ache, pause, press the like button, and type 111 in the comments as a seal of faith that better days are rising on the horizon. Maybe tears really are streaming down my face tonight, leaving salt-streaked evidence of truths I tried to bury beneath forced smiles and rehearsed laughter. I once believed I could outrun the storm by pretending the sky was always blue, but denial is a fragile umbrella in a hurricane of reality. Now, under the silver moon's unflinching gaze, I finally dared to admit what my trembling heart knew all along. The painful truth I fought so hard to avoid has been standing in plain view, waving its crimson flag, begging me to notice. For so long, I defended you to anyone who questioned the sincerity behind your practiced promises. I crafted eloquent excuses, painting you as a misunderstood soul whose heart just needed a safe place to unfold. My family, those steadfast guardians who loved me before I could even pronounce the word love, tried to warn me. They saw through the polished veneer you wore like armor. Yet I, hungry for hope, refused to believe the warnings etched in their worried eyes. I mistook their caution for negativity, their protection for interference. But tonight, as shadows lengthen and silence amplifies every memory we made, I see it all so clearly. They were never trying to imprison my heart. They were trying to save it. Each tear slipping past my lashes feels heavier than the one before because embedded in every droplet is a recollection of moments where your actions contradicted your words. You spoke of loyalty while entertaining whispers that tore at the seams of trust. You vowed transparency while constructing walls of secrecy behind your smile. I convinced myself that those red flags were just pastel shades of insecurity, that your inconsistencies were simply human imperfections I could love you through. But love is not blind. Love sees truth and still chooses compassion. What I offered was blindness masquerading as devotion. Your actions have always shouted louder than your apologies. When I dared to ask for clarity, you served me confusion. When I needed presence, you delivered absence wrapped in flimsy justifications. And each time I swallowed my disappointment, I became fluent in a language of self-betrayal, convincing myself that fragments of affection were enough to build a cathedral of forever. I ignored the hollow echo in our conversations, the way my laughter sounded forced in your company, the way your promises floated like paper boats on an ocean of unkept intentions. Tonight, memory replays the real. Birthdays you forgot, phone calls you returned only when convenient, dreams you dismissed as childish fantasies. You called me overly sensitive when I voiced my hurt, yet sensitivity is the pulse of empathy. You labeled my worries drama, unaware that behind every concern lay a genuine plea for partnership. I realize now that the person you truly are has little resemblance to the image I sketched in my hopeful imagination. I fell for the potential, not the reality. And potential, no matter how dazzling, is no substitute for consistent truth. To the version of me who once believed you would be my unwavering harbor, sweetheart, it's okay to grieve the dream that died. Mourn the soft possibilities that once fluttered around your ribcage like butterflies whispering, maybe this time it will be different. Let the sorrow shake you like thunder. Let it cleanse you like rain. And then, gently, lay those broken illusions at the feet of tomorrow and step into a dawn woven from self-respect. My family's voices echo now with painful clarity. They never said you must leave. They simply said look closer. They saw how my light dimmed after every interaction, how joy left my eyes like birds fleeing winter. They noticed the subtle tension coiling in my shoulders when your name lit my phone screen. Love speaks in many dialects, and theirs was a quiet insistence that I deserved reciprocity. It breaks me to admit they were right, yet it also frees me. Truth, though sharp, slices away the chains of deceit. Every tear reminds me of the sacredness of my trust. How precious, how rare. It is a jewel that should be cradled, not tossed aside. You were given something priceless and chose to treat it like ordinary glass. But I am not broken glass. I am tempered diamond formed under unfathomable heat. Yes, your choices cracked the illusion, but they did not shatter my essence. I used to fear loneliness more than mistreatment. I would clutch toxic comfort simply to avoid the echo of my own heartbeat in an empty room. But tonight, as these tears baptize the remnants of false hope, I realize solitude is not an enemy, it is a sanctuary. In the quiet, I can hear my own prayers again. I can taste the sweetness of self-forgiveness and feel the pulse of uncharted possibilities humming beneath my wounded skin. To anyone listening who feels this ache, hear me. Betrayal is not proof that you are unworthy. It is proof that you have loved with an open heart. Your capacity to trust is not a flaw. The flaw lies in those who mishandle that trust. Do not let their negligence convince you to close the gates of vulnerability forever. Instead, guard them with discernment and share them with souls who recognize the privilege of entry. Yes, it stings that I misread you, but mistakes are not tombstones. They are signposts pointing toward wisdom. I will harvest every lesson from this heartbreak, the importance of boundaries, the beauty of mutual respect, the necessity of listening to intuition when it whispers warnings in the middle of the night. I will honor the red flags that I once painted green. And when love approaches again, wearing genuine integrity, I will recognize its authentic glow because I have seen the counterfeit glow fade. Your chapter in my story ends here, not with hatred, but with acceptance. I release the need to change you, to fix you, to make you into the partner I believed you could be. I release the self-blame that gnawed at my peace. I forgive you, not because you asked, but because my soul refuses to be tethered to resentment. Forgiveness is the scissors severing the final thread that connects my heart to your shadow. As the night deepens, my tears slow, and in their place rises a fragile yet determined hope. I envision the sunrise of a new self-trust dawning beyond this darkness. I see myself meeting mornings with unburdened breath, laughing without flinching, dancing without apology. I see friendships rooted in honesty, love stories sculpted in mutual reverence, and family dinners where my eyes shine with gratitude rather than hidden grief. Dear soul listening, if this reflection echoes inside you, know that you, too, will rise. Heartbreak may have knocked the wind from your lungs, but it cannot steal the breath of purpose that lives within you. Wrap your arms around your own shoulders. Whisper, I am still worthy, and let healing seep into every fracture. If these words resonate, show the universe your agreement. Tap like and type 111 below. Not as a mere gesture, but as a covenant that you will choose truth over illusion, self-respect over empty promises, and light over lingering shadows. Together we claim a future sculpted by authenticity, guarded by discernment, and kissed by unconditional love. Tonight, I close my eyes, let the final tear fall, and feel a subtle shift. The weight on my chest lightens, the fog in my mind lifts, and somewhere deep inside, a quiet voice, steady and sure, whispers, you are free.